We're going to start this next section on media and entertainment with a little video clip that is actually the first video, the first clip that aired on Logo when the network went live. And it's a great context setting for the history of LGBT portrayal in media and where we go from here. So, with that.
It was like a march of liberation.
The whole process in the 70s was about moving out of a position of secrecy into a position of joy and openness.
What he thinks that you're the can't even say it. He's right, Art.
My favorite gay moment on TV is Billy Crystal is playing Jody Dallas on Soap.
That was such an important breakthrough role.
Jody's a fruit.
And the mother comes in and says,
"Oh, you wear
that belt in."
Both Mayor Moscone and Supervisor Harvey Milk had been shot.
The thing about We Need a Brain Initiative is that we recognize that there was a we.
We must act up! Fight back!
And this community has said, we're going to use our anger to make a difference, together.
That little experience made it seem to me like maybe there's something that will come out of this.
I didn't choose this. I am this.
Suddenly, they were telling our stories in movies.
This is America. There is no them. There is only us.
By the 90s, you could win an Oscar for telling a gay story.
It's been life-saving to have this cultural visibility. I grew up uncomfortable, and I refuse to let other people grow up that uncomfortable.
You're gay, right?
Yeah, I'm gay.
I think it is important that gay people be seen everywhere in all contexts. It's about putting a real face on the issue.
And I just want to know how long I'm going to have to wait until I can see two gay men kiss on network television.
It is all the same. Love is spelled with the same 4 letters.
This is our journey.
These are our stories.
Welcome to Logo.
You're on.
This is where I show what an emotional mess I usually am in this sort of thing, because that totally chokes me up. I actually think I have copies of most of those movies also, which I'm really happy about. But yeah, it's been an amazing journey, and we're going to talk now with 2 women who are at the forefront of media and entertainment and how that is changing for our community and what that means for us. So please welcome Lisa Sherman from Logo. And thank you for that fabulous video and for the context setting. And Jane Velez-Mitchell from CNN. And it's right there. I'm like, I know I saw it. Excellent. Welcome, ladies. So let's talk a little bit about the 2 main themes, the authenticity and transparency. And Jane, I'll start with you since you're immediately to my left. When you look at your own experience over the last 3 to 5 years in the industry, and you look at this authentic and transparent theme that goes across media as it relates to the LGBT community, as someone who is in front of the camera as well as producing content behind the camera as well. What has your experience been as you've seen the evolution over the last 3 to 5 years?
Well, I think that all of my fear of coming out was self-generated. And when I came out, the sky didn't fall down, the sun came up the next day, and I was able to brew my regular old cup of coffee and tasted just as good. In fact, it tasted a lot better because I felt a lot better. And so I really would say to all people who are afraid of coming out, don't be afraid. I really don't think there's that much to be afraid of. Now, I say that with a caveat. I'm not in control of what people's reactions are. I'm talking about my personal experience. My personal experience is that my life got a lot better. Somebody once described to me living in the closet as living in a vertical casket. And I thought that was just such a great description, because I did feel when I finally came out to everybody that I was no longer living in that vertical casket. And for me, coming out was a process, not an event. And it started with me first admitting to myself that I was gay. And that only happened after I got sober.
I was going to sound, admitting to yourself sounds a bit like a 12-step process.
Yeah, and once I got sober, I really didn't have anywhere to hide when I had those uncomfortable same-sex feelings. No, I didn't have anywhere to hide. And I actually had to deal with them for the first time, where I couldn't really just order another drink. So I started dealing with those feelings, and then I finally told my therapist, then I told my family and friends, and then finally I was doing a radio show in Los Angeles, and we were talking about Senator Larry Craig, and it was like a 3-hour radio show, and I was beating up on him, and I started to get more and more uncomfortable, and the sense of hypocrisy really rose up in me, and I had to say to myself, Jane, you're being a hypocrite. You are keeping the most pertinent fact from the audience. So when we went into a commercial break, I turned to the person I was doing the show with, who happened to be a log cabin Republican, Al Rantel, who was out. And I said, Al, I think I have to tell the listeners that I live with a woman. He said, whatever you want to do. And so I called my girlfriend at the time. I said, I'm going to come out. And I said, turn on KABC radio. And I hung up. And when I came back from the commercial, I said, I just want to tell our listeners that I feel it's important to say during this conversation that I live with a woman. And after that, I don't remember what the heck I said. But it was so fantastic because nothing happened. Absolutely nothing happened. That's like, a couple of people said something like, whoa, were you lying to your viewers when you were a local news reporter and you didn't say that? And I said, probably. And that was it. I mean, it was really a great relief. And so I really feel that people build up a lot of projections of what it's going to be like when they come out. And they create these stories about the bad things that are going to happen. And I call it catastrophizing. In my experience, nothing bad happens. It's all good. So go for it.